Hi YouTube. We are going to be replacing, I believe it's called an A1 board or the main board in a Panasonic TV. If you want to look, this is you get this. This is the model of the TV. That's your model number right there, the TC number, and that's really how I found the part that I needed. So anyway, it's really quite easy. All you have to do, there's screws. I've only taken all the screws out. You just start and go around the TV. They're going to look like this for the most part, the ones that come out of the top. And then as you get down here, to the bottom, they're going to change and kind of get a little bit longer. So the key is you're going to want to keep them separated. So I've kind of put them into separate bowls in a box, just to kind of keep the longer ones separate from the shorter ones. Let's take, once you have all your screws off, come off. This part will come off first. What I suggest is if you try to take that off and it's not coming off easily, you probably missed a screw. And so double check all the way around and make sure that you're not missing anything. So this is your A1 board. The problem that we have with this TV is the HDMI ports are not working. So of course we took it apart. This part sits right here and pops out really easy. As you can see, it's just kind of held in. Where did those go? Just held in by these silver screws, just like that. So there's a screw that goes there, a screw that goes there, and it's all the way around. And then you're going to take out, just pop out these. That one was there, that one was there, and so forth. You have these little ribbons that go in here like this. That's how you'll see it. The key to these ribbons is these just clamp down, and you just pull them up, and then they pop out. And then with these, you're gonna have to kind of work with them, but be gentle but firm, and taking it out. But you should be able to get it. Just kind of pull straight out on that one, and these as well. Anyway, once you have all your screws out and everything disconnected, it comes out just like that. Easy peasy. Set that aside. Now I ended up going on eBay, so it's a kind of a shout out to these guys, Electro Parts. They've been good to deal with. They have a 60-day warranty. Phone number, really reputable. Okay, and we're back. So I just unwrapped this. As you can see, it also comes in a bag. That's the part number for the board for this TV. So you want to make sure if you have this model of TV that you get this part number. I was in contact with a bunch of different vendors on eBay, Amazon, and it was explained to me that, get the other one here, that in order to figure out really which part number you have, you can't just go off this number, but it's all these little tiny ones right here that have to be decoded. So you have to really give them that part number. I sent them a picture of that, and then they were able to tell. But that's why I gave you the model of the TV, and I'm also showing you that number so you can see if you have this TV, which one you need. I found that a lot of the dealers are more than happy to help you out in finding the part. So anyway, this goes right back on as the other one came off. And set it on there, and then we'll see. You can see how this slides back in there. This one clips back in there. Here it click. This one goes over the top. And I'm trying to be firm but gentle with it. You can see there's the wires right there, so that should just fit. Down in there. What I'm trying to do is just trying to get it to see if I can hear it click. I feel like I got it. And then this blue, this little guy, slides under. And just lift that up, slide it under like that. Let's make sure it's in kind of even, and then you just push it down. That holds it in place. Instead of just kind of, and then to take it out, you just lift it up, and then gently pull out. I just want to make sure I get it in there. And then the same thing for these guys. Just want to make sure you get it in, push it down. Get it in, and push it down. Okay, so we're back. I forgot to show you this guy runs from that board to this board, connects there. One thing that when I was connecting it, if you're trying to close these little pins, these little clamps down, and they don't close easily on their own and clamp down, then the little ribbon is in wrong. So you just kind of want to make sure of that. So that's really all there is to putting the board in, and the same can be said for, again, for taking it out. Now we're going to pause, and I'll put the screws in, but I'll start. Let's grab one of these silver ones. I'll just go in there. You just start it with your hand and then tighten it down with a screwdriver afterwards. So we'll come back after I have all those in, and we'll go from there. So for this little guy has the power and everything. It just kind of lines up and slides in there on the side. You can see here, it just lines up with these little holes here and here. so it just kind of slides out, slides in. And then you take the then you take the screw and just screw it in, and then you'll do the other side. That's why it's a good idea to keep your screws separate in a system where you can know where they're at. Just makes it easier than once it's on. I'm gonna show this side. Once it's on, then you can see this will all be solid. Everything should line up. Like there's a USB port on this side. You have the SD card slot on this side. So everything just lines up naturally. There's the card slot, there's the USB port. So, yeah, anyway, now all I have to do, just finish tightening these down. And we should be good to put the cover back on. So we'll go with that next. Okay, so we got the back on. This part for the plug will come off. We're taking it apart. As I said, the screw for that looks a little bit longer. So as far as just putting it back in the, want to make sure all these screws have little washers on them too. So you want to make sure not to lose those. So as I said, we got this in now. And it's important to realize that you're probably seeing things upside down because we're filming. This is the top of the TV up here. This is the bottom of the TV down here. When you put this on, there's little numbers that identify the screws, M3 and an arrow. Right now, those are upside down to you because the top of the TV is up here and the right side up for me because I'm down here. And as you can see over here, this is the board that we just put in with the audio outputs. They all just line up in their little holes. And everything should be good there. This little guy, this covers the back here. This lines up with the holes there. Now it's just a matter of going around and putting all the screws in. Okay, so we're back. As you can see, I had to take the TV back apart again. We got it together to test it, and the power light was flashing red. You could hear the screen try to turn on, and then it would turn off. You hear a click, and the light would start flashing. If you're familiar with computers at all, I'm assuming it was just failing its self-test, to test everything before it powers on. And it was giving that, flashing the red light to let you know something wasn't right. So anyway, we took it off again. As you can see, I just want to show everyone what I went through and checked. First of all, as I mentioned before, to verify that your board is correct, you have to check these little guys right here. And they decode that for you when you get the board. But I just kind of matched this, went through and double checked that the board was right. Just by matching that up letter by letter on the board. After I verified the board was correct, Then I went back through and just reseated each one of the connections. This guy was in a little crooked, and this guy was giving me problems going in correctly, so I got him in right. The other thing over here, I don't know if we can get this, but over here, the power button clicks down on there, and so I don't know if that was making full contact or not. As you can see, it's under there, and the power button is right there. So you push that, it pushes a tiny little button on the board. So what I did was, this time when I screwed these two little screws in, this one and this guy over here, I kind of pushed in on the board a little bit to make sure that it was in all the way, and this little lever that goes down pushes that button was definitely over there. And then this time, instead of being a moron, which is ironically the name of the YouTube station, by the way, like and subscribe, I decided to plug it in first. Here, that's moronic or smart, I don't know which, but I decided to take a chance. We have it up here on the table. Plugged it in, got it, and it is on. You can see the blue light or something under here, but it's on. So anyway, I can see it probably go off. So you'll also see when I powered it on, there was a little red light under this guy here, kind of signifying that the board itself was working. Okay, now we're back. So I've gone around and put all the screws on around the TV, just in with my hand. I'll kind of show you what's left. So you have this size. I'll lay it down here so you can see, hopefully see the difference in size. So there's these two sizes, and then a larger one. The one here with the washer, that one goes on the outlet. It goes on your outlet. That. This larger one, if you come down here, you'll see that there's a ST14 right there. ST14, that means these larger ones. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those along the bottom, and those hold this plastic, actually screw into this plastic border on the front. So if you hold the bottom, you kind of push up while you're screwing this in. Just be sure you grab it. Let's see. We got this one. This little guy. That one goes around. You'll have one like it around the edge of this one, on the top edge. And those don't have little washers. And then finally, you'll have most of these smaller ones. They are the ones that go around here and around the top edge of the TV and all the way around. And you'll have 2 of those here. And actually no one that goes there. basically whenever you see an arrow, in theory there should be a screw. So really that's all there is to putting this in. We'll give it a test here in a few minutes to see how it works, and we'll go from there, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, so we just got the TV back together, and we're going to try to turn it on now. And there it is. I'll test the
Do you want the remote?
The volume up, volume down. What's that saying?
Which wiring method is used to connect your box to the TV? Do you want the remote?
No, I'm just testing out the buttons. What's that say?
What is connected to HDMI 1? For your convenience, you may name each input for easy identification. That'll be good for my mom. The labels will be shown in the input select menu. So you could do like Amazon Fire Stick for number 1 and
Well, these are the
cable for number 2. Oh.
These are all the ones you can choose.
Oh, I thought you could make up your own name.
Oh, for this, it is the DVD. You know what? We don't need to go. You can do all this later.
It's my turbo
And there's the HDMI 1, so that's working. And it wasn't before. So now I'll unplug it. We'll try HDMI 2. See if I can find. Volume up, volume down. Special thanks to these guys. I got the thing for the board for $23.99 on eBay. They were good to work with. They send you a shipping thing, so you're covered with all this stuff. Just wanted to thank them. I'm giving them a shout out, but that's how you do it. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. This has been Jeremy from Don't Be a Moron. You can fix anything. Like and subscribe. Thanks.